the graduates selected their guest speaker and they had asked for the big guy upstairs, I thought, wow, that's quite impressive who we're going to have come speak here. We'll just have a holy presentation. Turns out the graduates have requested Mr. Duncan Millar. I'd like him to come up now and give his address to the class.
It is often at the commencement of various stages of our journey through life that we take time to reflect upon all those obstacles and struggles that have led us to this point. Stop. I reflect back on my own obstacles and struggles this year. The biggest, of course, being the fact that you people never listen to me. Day after day, I stand in front of you, pouring out my heart and soul, feeding you these delicious pearls of wisdom. And do you care? I think you've answered my question. No, you do not. You haven't listened to me for the past 4 years, and I see no indication why this pattern would continue today. So as such, I decided today I'm not going to waste any more time with speeches or advice. Instead, I thought you might enjoy hearing a few excerpts from my own personal journal. One I have kept secret lo these many years. Let me just turn to a random page here. April 17th, 2012. It was a chilly morning when the sun finally found its way to the yard of Christopher Van Bergick. Vanny B, the kids call him. I call him Mr. V. Before Mr. V arrived in Summerland, I was kind of a lone wolf. I had no one on staff that could keep up with me intellectually. You know that's true. But now Mr. V and I are practically inseparable. Like a numerator and its denominator. Like X and Y. Like Albert and Einstein. Like, a light appears in the window. Mr. V has awoken. He has made his way into the bathroom now. He's brushing his teeth. And he's shaving. Oops, missed the spot, Mr. V. The little V's are up now, and Mrs. V starts the breakfast. A few more minutes go by, and finally out pops Mr. V himself. He says to me, Millar, what did my wife tell you about standing on the lawn? Sorry, Mr. V, I say. I always seem to need to be reminded. Listen, Millar, a realization that will make you stronger as a person will come once you learn that often the helping hand you seek is at the end of your own arm. Yes, sir, Mr. V. It looks like another great day for mathematics, eh? Millar, just get in the car, and off we go together on another mathematical adventure. We get to school, and I follow Mr. V into his office. Millar, remember our deal. If I buy you coffee, you're supposed to go straight to your class. Oh yeah. Hey, Mr. V, wouldn't life be a lot easier for you if you went back to teaching? Oh. Look, Millar, all life demands struggle. The obstacles and problems you encounter along the way are not stop signs, but rather guidelines for your future. You are who you are because of these obstacles and struggles. Only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far they can go. Wow, that's awesome, Mr. V. Do you ever miss it? Teaching math, I mean? Yes, Millar, sometimes. But I would really like to be missing you now. Okay, I say with a chuckle, and off I go to my class. That Mr. V is quite the kidder. But I truly wonder what made him turn to the dark side. Administration, I mean. I understand why McDonald and Mirage turned. They are mostly evil already. But Mr. V was at the top of his game. He literally wrote the book on mathematics. I really should buy that book one day. Hey Miller, I hear from one of my students. Are you going to teach us anything today? Darn kids. They are such gozers. They never give me time to think. They always want to learn something. Yeah, I say, I'll find something for you to do. There's my little group of texters sitting in the back of the room, pounding away on their miniaturized keyboards. No doubt making fun of the way I dress. He's wearing socks with sandals again. At least his shirt is right side out today. I've heard it all before. There's a knock at my door. Why, it's Mr. V. Good morning, Mr. V, I say in front of my students. What can I do for you today? Miller, I need to talk to you in the hall right away. Miller, these phones students are using in class have become quite a problem. Younger people are faced with all sorts of social technologies. Texting, Facebook, Twitter, and goodness knows what's coming next. We need to help them establish clear boundaries. If a student posts a message on Facebook or sends a text which is interpreted differently than the way they meant it, they could be ruined socially, or worse. It may even work against them when applying for jobs or scholarships. It is an exciting but scary new world they are entering, and it is up to us to set them straight. Let's not let this new technology they are using become weapons of social destruction. Yes, sir, Mr. V. As the words weapons of destruction resonate in my head, I return to my class with a clear sense of purpose. I stand in front of them and yell, all right, you people, I want all of you on your feet and put all your weapons, I mean cell phones, I say with a sly grin, on your desk. I quickly gathered them all up and put them in a recyclable bag. My special bag I received at a math conference I went to in the fall. There we stood, facing each other. My students with a look of angry contempt, and me with my bag of phones. Tension mounted until... I thought of an excuse to leave the room. I said something about an emergency math meeting. But secretly, I was off to see Mr. V, to show him what I had accomplished. He will be so impressed. Room 32, all clear, I will tell him. I can't wait to see him. Sorry, Miller, you'll have to wait, the secretary tells me. Mr. Van Bergig is busy. Busy? What could be more important than two great minds exchanging ideas, I thought to myself. Or maybe I said it out loud. The secretary gave me kind of a funny look. I took a peek into Mr. V's office. One of those English teachers was in there talking to me. They were going on and on about who knows what. Maybe their DVD player broke down, or maybe their classroom is too small to accommodate all their fancy desk formations. The more I waited, the madder I became. Finally, they left. I stormed into Mr. V's office and said, Mr. V, I don't know how you do it. How can a once great man, head of all the math teachers, writer of the textbook, which I'm going to buy next year for sure, by the way, ordained by the BC Association of Mathematics, how can you tolerate all these non-math people coming up to you with all their mundane problems? I would go completely insane. I can see how you might, says Mr. V. Look, Miller, this might sound cliche, but it's all about attitude. Attitude to me is more important than education, than money, than failures or successes. It is more important than what people think or say. It outweighs giftedness or skill. It is the most powerful attribute that any human can possess. And the remarkable thing is that we have a choice every day regarding the attitude which we are going to face that day with. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people act in certain ways. We cannot change the inevitable. But we can change how we react. We can change how we perceive others, their ideas, and their opinions. And we can change how we choose to carry on. We all have the power inside of us, even you, Miller. Sorry, Mr. V, I didn't catch that last part. This bag of phones I'm holding is vibrating like crazy. Oh, Mr. V looks annoyed now. No doubt after dealing with all those English teacher types. I better leave him alone now. Us math geniuses sometimes need our space. The rest of the day I spent working on a petition to remove the English classes from the math wing at the school. It didn't go the way I had hoped. I don't think I'll argue anymore. Let me see if I can find another day here. December 5th, 2011. It was a frosty morning when the snow fell on the roof of the Van Bergik family. All right, not that one. Let's move ahead here a bit. May 11th, 2012. It was a rainy morning as the curtains finally opened at the Van Bergik household. Maybe not that one either. Let's move back a bit further. October 8th, 2011. With a gust of wind, the last leaf fell on the lawn of Christopher Van Bergik. Hold on a minute. I think I see a problem here. I am clearly obsessed with the weather. Anyway, maybe we've heard enough of my journal. Now, I promised Miraz I wasn't going to sing this year. I know it broke my heart too. But I wrote a poem instead, inspired by you people. I call it, Are You Gozers? I think it's one of those rhyming haiku things. Are you gozers? Yes, you are. You drove me crazy, but here you are. Are you ready? I just don't know. You've just begun that field to sow. Are you gozers? Yes, you are. Follow your dreams, and you'll go far. Don't be afraid. Listen to your heart. Yesterday's mistakes become today's new start. Are you gozers? Yes, you are. I know we've struggled, yet come so far. Will I miss you? Yes, I will. Time's gone too fast, and I love you still.
Or in those Tic Tacs.
There we go. Thank you, Mr. Miller. I strangely feel like I've been speaking for the last little while. Not sure where that came from, but I'm going to have to check out my front window more often. At this time, I'd like to invite the valedictorians for 2012, Chloe Kennedy.
We're starting our summer vacation. Me and Duncan are about to go to Summerland Suites, and then bike ride back. It is our first bike ride of the summer. Yes, it is.